It's Punjab versus Hyderabad in match number 43 of the Indian T20 League. Both teams still very much in contention for a place in the playoffs, but both teams will know that in order for them to qualify, they'll have to treat every single match from here on out like a final. You're watching Cricket Pundits. I'm Anubhav Jain, and as always, I'm in the company of Mandira, Lalvani, and Ayaz, Memon. Mandira, Ayaz, warm welcome as always.
Thank you, Anubhav.
Ayaz, a match of tremendous significance for both teams, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I mean, from here on, apart from the top three teams, every team has a lot at stake, including Chennai, who are mopping the floor on the points table. But even they can play spoilers. And, as Dhoni said after the defeat against Mumbai, that they're looking to prepare for the next season. So they'll obviously come and play for pride. But that said, Punjab versus Hyderabad. Look, I think Hyderabad had a very interesting previous match. They lost Bairstow and Warner early. And despite that, they went on to win the match, and Manish Pandey coming good, so too Vijay Shankar, Rashid Khan bowling well, Jason Holder coming in and picking up 3 wickets. I thought that, everybody thought that Mohammad Nabi might play, but Jason Holder has been sitting in the ranks. People forgot about him, and he's come and made a really huge contribution. So Punjab have been on a roll in the past few matches. We've seen how good they've become because their support for Rahul and Agarwal through Gale and Pooran, and also Glenn Maxwell finally making some runs. Mohammad Shami coming into his own, Ravi Bishnoi, etc., etc. So I think this is going to be a very tight contest because right now the desperation levels for all teams are rising. Either they are making the cut or they are not. The fight is essentially, I think, for the 4th place in the playoffs, and all these teams are vying for that place. The top 3 are vying who becomes number 1 and 2. So I'll go ahead with my picks for this match. From Punjab, certainly Rahul. I'm going to pick Nicholas Pooran here because he's got a scintillating approach to the game, scintillating strokes all around. And I think Mohammad Shami will be my 3rd player. So that's going to be Rahul, Pooran, and Shami. And from Hyderabad, I'll pick Rashid and Jason Holder because Jason Holder, a lot of people forget that he's also a very decent bat. He can be a very strong finisher. So Rashid, Jason Holder, and Johnny Bairstow. He's looked a little sounder to me than David Warner. I know Warner's captain, etc., etc. But these 3 guys who can lead their team to victory.
Thank you so much, Ayaz. Mandira, over to you for your thoughts.
Punjab has kind of completely silenced its critics with its performance, right? They've had a hat trick of wins, and they will be coming into this match, I feel, on that momentum, which definitely plays a part, at a stage which is this crucial for both of them to consolidate their position to make sure they make it to the playoffs. Obviously, each match here on is very, very important, and this one no less than the other. For Punjab, let's start with that. I think Mohammad Shami has been absolutely fantastic, and even that is such an understatement. He has been, I think, the crucial, that one person who has rescripted this entire, resurgence, revival, resurrection drama for the Punjab team. So it's very, very vital. Outside of that, Chris Gale coming in has been that, whether you call it talismanic, whether you call it mentally, it's given KL Rahul, the freedom to play his shots and play attacking and play faster towards those runs. I think that's made a big, big difference. Outside of that, of course, Mayank Agarwal with AB supported him, and altogether the Punjab side has really come together well. And I don't want to speak too soon. On the other side, we have Hyderabad, and from the start of this tournament, their middle order has been criticized. And while there is enough Mayank Agarwal to do and for Abdul Samad to do, but Manish Pandey and Vijay Shankar gave a fantastic account of themselves in their last outing. I think they turned it around. Things were looking very dire when David Warner and Johnny Bairstow fell cheaply. But it was these two who came and fortified. And then, of course, Jason Holder, as I has already said, and at the risk of sounding repetitive, I'd say, he was very, very effective as a wicket taker, as an economy bowler, and then he gives you strength at the end, at the lower order to bat out the innings. Evenly matched. Both have a lot to gain and will be playing their best from here on. That's a given. So if I had to look for 3 players each for Punjab, definitely Mohammad Shami. I mean, he was the star of both the super overs in their matches against Delhi and Bombay, mind you, which could have gone either way. And against Mumbai in the first super over, he defended 5 runs. That takes a lot. So his Yorkers have been bang on. I think Mohammad Shami for sure. Chris Gale, because I think he is not used to being benched. Injury or no injury, in the first half of this tournament, there was no sign of Gale. And even when he was coming on, there were lots of questions on, okay, what shall let's see. As Gale has the potential, but who knows? He's so erratic. So he's had a point to prove, and he's proving it. And again, like I said, I don't want to jinx it. And the third one, I'd say Chris Jordan. Or even I'm curious to see whether he's played or Jimmy Neesham is again brought back, because he was brought back in the last match. So I think Jimmy Neesham. Maxwell, as far as he's concerned, yet to perform with the bat, but he's turning out to be a very good bowling option. So that's working well for the Punjab team. I don't see them tinkering too much with this side. As far as Hyderabad is concerned, definitely Sandeep Sharma. If they give him the ball in the power play, especially against Gale, or whenever they bring Gale on, there's a good chance that he might trouble him. Strategy now, here on, will start to make all the difference, rather than the quality of the players, because they've all got the experience, they've all been playing. I think they're used to that part. With Jason Holder for sure, for reasons already stated, and Manish Pandey. I want to see him becoming that real Mr. Dependable, coming in at number 3 or number 4, and really fortifying that middle order. So those are my things.
Thank you so much, Mandira. When Gale was benched during the first half of the tournament, there was just the calm before the Gale storm that we're now seeing. Ayaz and Mandira, I'm very excited to get your predictions for this one, because in the recent past, I think both of you have had it very easy, because there have been some David versus Goliath affairs, but I think this should be neck and neck. Ayaz, starting with your prediction.
So I would pick Punjab, because I think that, Mandira mentioned that they're on a roll. They've been winning match after match after match. And, what they lacked earlier was depth in the batting. Certainly, because after Agarwal and Rahul, there was nobody else performing. Now you've suddenly got 2 more stalwarts, Gale and Puran, and then there's Maxwell getting some runs. Jimmy Neesham, if he's an all-rounder. So, there's a lot more batting heft. And the bowlings come good. There's Mohammad Shami, there's Ravi Bishnoi, there's M. Ashwin, the spinners are there, the fast bowlers are there. So I would pick Punjab ahead, because Hyderabad have been a bit, up and down. They had a fabulous win in the last match. But if you look at the last 6, 7, 8 matches, you'll find that they've gone like a yo-yo. So I think Punjab, on the way they've reached this far, and finally everything falling into place, I would pick Punjab.
Thank you so much, Mandira. You had alluded to momentum being in Punjab's favor. You think momentum will do the trick for Punjab this time around?
I think they don't need only momentum to do the trick. I was going to just start by saying I'm sorry to disappoint you, Anubhav, but I'm going to have to side with Ayaz on this one as well. I don't think it's momentum that they need to propel them to another victory. I think they are, winning once it becomes a habit, it's difficult to let go of. However, obviously it's not as simplistic as that. Fact of the matter is that all the chips have fallen to the right places just when they needed it. So the endeavor is going to make sure that nothing disturbs this now. They've got the winning formula. They seem to have all their ducks lined up, and from here on it's going to be hard to take them down unless there are some stellar performances. Like Ayaz said, Hyderabad has been up and down, and there have been sparks of huge brilliance from Hyderabad. Don't get me wrong, but it'll take like that kind of an extraordinary performance. Whereas Punjab is now starting to look like a steady ship. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Mandira. Mandira, I'm used to being disappointed, but now such has been the inconsistency of Kolkata's performances so far in this Indian T20 League campaign. Thank you so much, Mandira. Thank you so much, Ayaz. And a big thank you to all our viewers for having joined us for another episode of Cricket Pundits. And we eagerly await your company in the next episode as well, when we'll be previewing Bangalore versus Chennai, match number 44 of the Indian T20 League. Until next time, stay safe, take care, and cheers.